Did the monster of the Second World War really die in 1945? The official story tells us that Adolf Hitler, facing defeat in Berlin, committed suicide in his bunker. April 30th, 1945 is the date etched in history books. But what proof do we have? The only initial accounts came from Soviet reports. These reports lacked forensic evidence. Whispers of doubt began to surface. Could the most hated man in the world have escaped justice? The world accepted the story of Hitler's suicide. A collective sigh of relief swept the globe. The nightmare was over, yet the lack of concrete evidence always lingered. No autopsy, no public display of the body, just charred remains in a bombed-out city. The official narrative states that Hitler shot himself while simultaneously biting into a cyanide capsule. His loyal companion, Eva Braun, also died by suicide alongside him. Their bodies were doused in petrol and set alight in the Reich Chancellery Garden. The Red Army closing in found only skeletal remains. But whispers persisted. Could this have been an elaborate ruse? The seeds of doubt were sown. And as the years passed, those seeds would grow into a tangled forest of conspiracy theories. For decades, the story remained unchallenged. Then, in 2009, a shocking discovery shook the world. A skull fragment, long believed to be Hitler's, was put to the test. It had been held in a Russian archive, a grim relic of the war. Scientists conducted DNA analysis. The results were conclusive. The skull belonged to a woman. Not just any woman, but one much younger than Eva Braun. This revelation sent shockwaves through the historical community. If this wasn't Hitler's skull, then whose was it? And where were the real remains of the Führer? This discovery breathed new life into the escape theories. The official narrative, already shaky, now seemed even more suspect. Had the Soviets lied all along? Had they perhaps never found Hitler's body in the first place? The missing skull added fuel to the fire. It was a tangible piece of evidence that something wasn't right. The official story was crumbling, and in its place a more sinister possibility emerged, one where Hitler, alive and well, had vanished into thin air. The theory that Hitler escaped to South America is not new. Thousands of Nazis, fleeing justice, found refuge in countries like Argentina and Brazil after the war. One of the most infamous, Adolf Eichmann, lived undetected in Argentina for years before his capture in 1960. Could Hitler have done the same? In 2014, declassified FBI files added further intrigue. These files suggested that Hitler may have escaped via submarine to Argentina in the final days of the war. Eyewitness accounts placed a Hitler-like figure in the Andes Mountains. Could these be more than just sightings? Could they be glimpses of the escaped dictator himself? The vastness and remoteness of Patagonia provided the perfect hiding ground. Sparsely populated and sympathetic to the Nazi cause, Argentina offered a haven for war criminals. Rumors persist of secret networks and escape routes funded by looted Nazi gold. One place in particular stands out in the Hitler escape theory: San Carlos de Bariloche. Nestled in the Andes, this picturesque town was home to a number of ex-Nazis, and it is here, in a luxurious mansion, that some believe Hitler lived out his days. Locals reported seeing a German man resembling Hitler. He was often accompanied by two men thought to be his bodyguards. CIA and FBI reports from the 1950s and 1960s fueled these suspicions. They suggested that Hitler may have lived in Bariloche until at least the 1960s. The reports detail alleged sightings and investigations. They paint a picture of a desperate attempt to track down the fugitive Führer. Did Hitler really die in that bunker in 1945? Or did he escape to live out his days under the South American sun? The evidence is inconclusive. The mystery remains. The official narrative is riddled with holes. The lack of forensic proof, the skull controversy, the eyewitness accounts in Argentina all cast doubt on the accepted version of history. Perhaps the truth, like Hitler himself, has vanished into the mists of time.